If you can fight for your country, shouldn't you be able to buy yourself a beer? For years, many Americans have argued that the drinking age should be lowered from 21 to 18, where it was back in the 70s and the 80s. A brand new study, though, shows an unexpected side effect. High school dropout rates, they suggest, could jump as much as between 4 and 13% if we were to lower the drinking age. Let's have a fair and balanced debate. Darby Fox is a therapist specializing in behavior, and psychotherapist Tom Kersting works with a lot of kids in this demographic. Darby, let's start with you. You think it's probably a pretty good idea to lower the drinking age back to 18, 19, 20?
I would probably do it to age 19 because then most people are out of high school. And I think it's really important that we do that because we're seeing a huge increase in deaths and from the 18 to 24 population because of the way they drink.
You're talking about binge drinking?
Binge drinking, yep. We've pushed it into pre-gaming and in the closet. It's very dangerous. We're seeing deaths as opposed to high school dropout rates. There's a big difference.
And that's one of the things, Tom, that I have heard from college admissions deans. They said, you know, if your kid has had a drink before they come to college, it's no big thing. But if they haven't, they go to college and they go crazy.
That's a possibility, but my argument, I completely disagree. I think it's a terrible idea to lower the drinking age, and here's why.
Okay.
The part of the brain called the prefrontal cortex is the part of the brain that's responsible for decision-making and risk-taking behavior, and it's not fully developed until the early to mid-20s. So now you take a young kid, an 18-year-old, that's already at risk because of that brain aspect,
right,
and you give them alcohol, which lowers your inhibition. To me, it's a perfect storm for disaster.
Well, that is very true. What we know is most kids, 80% of children or high schoolers have had alcohol, experience with alcohol by the time they graduate. And so what we want to do is teach responsibility. We're now seeing legislation being introduced like medical amnesty, where we're trying to get kids, encourage them. They won't get in trouble if they'll call in if there's a serious health risk. We really need to take responsibility for what's happening, not legislate against what we fear.
Sure, and your argument about how it impacts the brain is a good one, and that is science. However, at the same time, it's like, well, why does it have to either be 18 or 21? How about if we do let's go to 19 or 20?
Well, I still disagree. I think 21 is a proper age. I mean, there's a huge maturity gap between an 18-year-old and a 21-year-old. Tremendous. So somebody who's 18 years old, you know,
but what about the argument that we used in the teas, and that is you're old enough to serve your country, but you can't buy beer?
Let's teach people to drink responsibly, because the reality is kids are drinking. And 18 to 24, the brain is still developing, but they need to be responsible for the decisions they make. We don't have them not drive or do anything at risk. We can send them to war where they could kill other people or kill themselves. We need to teach them to be responsible.
At what age can they smoke recreational marijuana in a couple of those states out there?
I think it's 21. It's 21, but
I don't know.
That's a whole other story.
Whole other segment. All right, Darby and Tom, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You bet. What do you think about that? Email us, friends@foxnews.com. Meanwhile,